Hello, friends. It's the Cinemondo podcast. And look how many people there are in the room.
So many.
We're almost a full Brady bunch.
It's a full house.
Yep.
We need Alice in the middle.
Oh yeah, we don't have a fifth one.
or a seventh one. She
Or
was
ninth.
Yeah, what was
ninth one. She was the ninth. She was the middle of the tic-tac-toe
she was
board.
9. You're right. Yes.
like way too much math for me. Way too much. Yeah,
I want to be the youngest one in curls. But anyway, totally off topic. What are we talking about? We're talking about, speaking of the Brady Bunch.
Speaking of, so I think just about everyone here has pretty much either read Interview with the Vampire, seen the movie Interview with the Vampire, or if you're really smart, genius level, you have seen the series Interview with the Vampire series.
She's the genius level one right there.
Yes.
I watched season 1 of Vampire Lestat, and it was quite great. It was really beautiful production value, great acting, and Sam Reid as Lestat is just like, he takes over the screen. He's really commands it.
You totally forget about Tom Cruise after seeing this guy, and then you realize how bad Tom Cruise was in the role after you see this guy, who is legitimately the Vampire Lestat. That is who it should be. Always should have been. So, except he probably wasn't born yet. But
because I was kind of impressed with Tom Cruise in that, in the movie, because it was so outside of what he normally did. Tom Cruise is always kind of surprising when he does a role like in Magnolia or something where he goes outside of what you're used to seeing him as.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Surprising is good, but doesn't necessarily mean good.
Yeah,
maybe so. It was, and they had a lot of cool actors. It was of its time.
Yeah, it was definitely.
So they've sort of modernized it. The new series takes place in Mumbai, and they're kind of hiding out there because they can just disappear.
Right.
And they're super rich because they've been around a while, so good investments, I guess. So they're super rich, and so it's the same context to where they're being interviewed, telling stories about what they remember, and then the interviewer. Wait, who's the interviewer?
Eric Bogosian.
Eric Bogosian. He's thinking he might be getting played a little bit and hypnotized to remember things that didn't actually happen. So there's sort of this weird tension as they're telling the stories and retelling, and you kind of have an unreliable narrator as he tells what he thinks happened and all of his, recollections of how he became a vampire, what was going on, meeting Lestat. You don't ever really know what the truth is. So that's kind of interesting too.
That's cool.
It's
really
good. Really,
you imagine that kind of thing would happen in the life of a person who's lived for a long time. Because the thing is, you'd be able to lie about it. You'd be able to lie about what you did 100 years ago because nobody can check, nobody can ask anyone.
Exactly. Did you ever read, Ramesh, have you read Interview with the Vampire or seen the movie?
No, I didn't actually.
Not either?
Not either of them.
You'll be fresh. Okay.
It's
an
a
interesting story. It's a classic book as well.
Yes.
I remember when everybody was reading the book, and I remember when everybody was kind of like surprised when the movie came out based on that book that everyone had read, and it had Tom Cruise in it, and that was like, oh no. And then he turned out to be, I think people respected the movie, but the basic story is about literally a guy interviewing someone who claims to be a vampire. And there's kind of a cool, and in the movie, it goes back, and you see the things that they're telling. Yeah. But I think also my memory of the original movie was that it also was kind of an unreliable narrator situation where you kind of, it's little big man kind of thing where
tall tales,
and you're like, did that really happen? But that's what's so great about the book is that this person is interviewing a person who claims to be a vampire, and first, right off the bat, you're like, is he really a vampire?
But they definitely are. So
they definitely are. If you in the first season, you go back and you see how he, what he did and how he affected people, and it's pretty gory. Right. It's pretty, over the top in a great way. So I'm excited to see season 2. Season 1 came out like 3 years ago, so it took a while for season 2 to come out.
Yeah, it took a long time for season 2.
In a way, what we do in Shadows is kind of an offshoot of this idea where it's instead of an interview with the vampire, it's a documentary about vampires, and they sort of made it funny. Yeah. But it's a cool concept, the eternal man idea, all the sadness involved in being a vampire and the weirdness
living
especially
that long. Yeah.
And Kirsten Dunst's character in the original movie was kind of tragic because she was stuck as a little girl.
Yeah.
So what are we going to see here, Kathy?
So we're going to see the extended first look at Vampire Lestat. Okay, so this is like a little promo, I think, that came out for the New York Comic-Con, whatever it's called.
Cosmic Con.
Is it Cosmic Con? Is that right?
I think so. So this is the first we're seeing of a lot of footage. They showed a little bit of when they were actually like art directing Lestat to do this promo and talk to the camera and sing.
I remember.
They're all doing his hair and everything. It's hilarious. It was so good. Yeah, so now we get to see some footage from the series. So that's gonna be
awesome. All right.
Doesn't come out till next year.
Yeah, it's amazing. 4 years between seasons. That's crazy. Well, big budget. It's on Amazon Prime.
Yes, so good. AMC. So definitely check it out. So here we go. I'm very excited to see this because the series is huge.
All right, let's check it out.
All right, here we go.
Hold on.
You ready to do the clapper?
Yes. Okay. And everybody quiet. Hold the work.
Call comes in from some Hollywood asshole asking me whether I want to write the movie version of the book. I'm like, blow me, lose my number. Calls me back a week later, what about a documentary? I'm like, Louis won't even talk to me. He says, not Louis, Lestat, the white guy. I'm like, blow me, I hang up. Calls me back a week later, I want to direct it, figuring that'll end it. I have one meeting with him, a meeting with Lestat's lawyer, and it's Vampire Rumspringa for Danny Boy Molloy.
I'm glad the book worked out for you.
You read it? You liked it?
I didn't like me in it. Passive, selfish, a liar, and not the lying to myself kind of fucking liar.
He didn't like the part about Claudia and him on the train.
Spine, telling you to run. Oh, that hate me on this dude. I'm the last alive. I'm the best in the future, the last of the soldiers are cooling down. Where the rock and roll is, where the guitar, where the hop and love and the face of the mud, where this stupid rhyme. Bang, bang, bang,
And he did not direct a play and then come home canoodling with one of its victims, did he? Who did that, I wonder? Repeat the name.
That would be Armand.
Armand.
You want to get into Armand?
Santiago, I could understand. At least he had a presence, but...
I'm happy to discuss Armand if you think that would help you.
Is it true that you had a second home in Sausalito with him?
We did.
Did you take turns driving across the Golden Gate Bridge? Who held the wheel harder?
Writing numbers on each other's backs and pretending to guess them wrong.
I bet. I bet!
Come on.
Very specific detail to pluck out of thin air! Va de te foutre!
Let's try and circle back to the particulars.
God.
He did it again. Fucking asshole.
I just love that bratty Lestat. He's so funny. He's so petty. He's so perfect for this. So very flamboyant, and he's like that through the whole series. Just very flamboyant and great. It just has that great super low voice. He's just very, very.
It's a very flamboyant show. It's sort of flaunts that. It's like it's sort of a little bit tongue in cheek, but there is sort of the horror of it. But it's much more about his character and sort of taking advantage of people in whatever situation, whether he's a rock star or it's in the 1870s or whatever, he sort of does that. So that's kind of what you're getting in that series.
I kind of keep thinking, I don't know why I go back to this. There's certain people that I always cast in roles like, oh, that would be this person, and I think when I'm watching this, I'm thinking, who would have been really good is young Tim Curry. When you think of his character in Rocky Horror Picture Show, it's almost like that style of,
Frankenfurter.
He was sort of a vampire-ish kind of Frankenstein character in that. And I feel like a lot of characters that came after him tried to pick up on that sort of that style of flamboyance associated with horror.
And I think Sam Reid really embodies that. That's why I think he's so great, because he really is doing a Tim Curry aspect to this, especially in this season. It looks like he's really blowing it out of the water, being flamboyant. He's a singer. He's a big rock star.
Yeah.
He's all glitter rock, So I feel like
Phantom of the Paradise vibe to it, and a kind of a like rock and roll, like rock opera vibe, like something that Brian De Palma maybe directed this or something. I don't know.
And I liked Jacob Anderson because he gives a whole different level. Like, it kind of goes into a Sinners kind of level, because he's actually a black man. He's a vampire, becomes a vampire, but he's a black man back in the day when he's trying to be taken seriously. He's kind of a successful businessman. He has a nightclub, but he is still, they're like, yeah, sure, you're one of us, but not really.
Yeah.
So he was like, I love that there's a little extra that they're bringing to it. So that's kind of cool to cast him in that, because that was a kind of risky move, and I thought did a great job. And then also Assad Zaman, who's really good as, Armand.
Yeah.
It's like,
and Eric Bogosian, it's fun to see Eric Bogosian in anything. He's been around for forever, and to the point where you suspect maybe he's a vampire, but he's been in stuff for forever, and he's always great. He's always Eric Bogosian, and he's that little dialogue that opens this trailer is so funny. It's very Hollywood.
And there's a lot of humor, in this series too, and I love that he's sort of playing the game. And look, and Jacob Anderson's character, Louis, he's always been a little jealous of everyone else getting attention. He always feels like he's playing the straight man. So even in like the series, he feels like, how come I don't get to do anything fun? How come you guys are having all the fun? What's the deal? So he's getting all snotty about the book, because he feels like Lestat kind of overpowers him in the books. So
right.
So funny. What do you think, Ramesh, knowing nothing about these characters?
Knowing nothing. I mean, based on what I've heard so far, like, this is a part of the interview with the vampire, like the whole series or the novels, I believe, right?
Yeah.
So it doesn't. This particular season doesn't look like it's an interview at all. It's more from the point of view of like Lestat, and it's all rock and roll. Looks like it's a bit hedonistic as well for me.
A little bit, yeah.
Very hedonistic. And that's what's always been great about Lestat. He's always been very hedonistic, because he's like, I've lived a long time and I'm just going for it. So he was like, he's just cutting through people. He doesn't care. He doesn't fall in love anymore, even though he does with Louis and Armand. It's like, he's like just so jealous and hungry. Like he just never seems to be able to get enough of anything. And so that's what's great about his character.
It's always kind of the underlying subcontext of all vampire stories, is that even back to Bela Lugosi, he just always seemed like very lusty, and he couldn't really control himself. He fell in love with this woman and had to travel to America to find her. And then he can't stop himself from biting. It's like passion and all, this.
Sure.
And also the idea that when you get, if you equate that to, whatever, it's like, then becoming a vampire almost as a metaphor for sexually transmitted diseases and things like that, where this is the price you pay for promiscuity, and so vampires have always I think the popularity of the vampire type characters is in that hedonistic thing, that kind of like follow your passion and just go for it and bite and turn people into vampire, like getting people addicted. It's almost like heroin, like when a vampire bites someone, it's a metaphor for, hey, dude, you never tried heroin? Here, try this. And now that person is a vampire,
it's kind of visible in the the choice of music that
Yeah.
currently plays a very crucial role. And there's this fashion too in it. I did see like vampire walking around, he's a bit gothic, he has his own fashion sense, he's changing. So
so good.
That's the kind of the night scene. Sometimes if I go back in time to remember the nightlife in Hollywood during certain periods, and there, these underground goth clubs, you go in there and I think people want to look like vampires and want to appear to be, that's where the whole goth subculture comes from, is like wanting to look like the undead, and that goes way back too, because I think Bela Lugosi, even if you look at Bela Lugosi, the prototype, I guess, he was cool. Everybody think, and Barnabas Collins, people think, oh, he's cool.
Yeah.
But he doesn't look like a regular vampire to me. That's for sure. I mean, the other movies that I've seen where they're, it's either there's some kind of a dark aura around them. It's like all gloomy. So
they are not
mysterious, but he's like
he's a rock star. He's a vampire rock star. Yeah,
exactly.
He should be with T-Rex and other bands from the 70s.
God. So good. So this is a sequel to Interview with the Vampire. It's not really It's not really part of. It's the same characters, but that's why I like that they're calling it the Vampire Lestat. They're not even like,
written. These aren't written by Anne Rice. They're not like based on the sequels or anything.
Well, wasn't there?
They're written by the novels. Yeah. This is based on the novel by Anne Rice.
Oh, okay. So it's still her world.
Yes. And it's officially her world. They didn't just make it up.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, it's official. So I like that too. And I like that, he's probably been around so long. Like he's just very fluid sexually. So he's like, there's a whole love triangle with all the male vampires, with Armand and Louis and Lestat. There's this whole like jealous thing going on. I like that they brought that in, because that's also another level of like the lustfulness, the not fitting in, that the vampires, they have the extra party going on, So it's really fun.
And that price that you pay, there's always that melancholy, that underlying melancholy where you have to kill somebody, you have to drink their blood. And if you're going to see a lot of people die in your endless eternal life,
Well, see, that's the thing, because Lestat's way past that. He does not give a shit.
Right.
But like he's trying to get Louis to do that. Louis doesn't want to kill people either. He's eating rats. He doesn't want to kill people. And Lestat's like, you're not going to be strong if you don't start drinking human blood. And so the whole thing is trying to get him to accept who he is and what he is, but Louis keeps resisting it.
Right.
So I love that too.
Yeah. It sounds more like an identity crisis for a vampire.
Yes.
Yeah.
I didn't ask for this. Now I got to kill people and drink their blood. But all of a sudden he realizes, like when he kind of actually does it, it becomes this huge like craving, this thing. Like when someone's bleeding, he suddenly realizes that is who he is. So it's great. Highly recommend this show.
Let me say one more thing, and then I'll shut up. I could go on and on about vampire characters, but one of my favorites has always been in the Blood for Dracula, which is sometimes known as Andy Warhol's Dracula, but directed by Paul Morrissey and starring the great Udo Kier, who I think he's one of my favorite vampires. He's kind of pathetic and weak, but he's also cool. He's got this kind of flamboyancy to him and that great accent of his and everything. And he is, they always make vampires attractive and kind of a lot like you can't resist them. But he seems in Blood for Dracula, he seems to be sort of failing. And I love that part about the movie where it's like his charisma and his, come to me, vampira, it's not working anymore. So
well, because he has to get the virgins.
Yeah.
Where are the virgins?
Yeah.
The virgins.
Virgins.
Where are the virgins?
But that comes out in 2026, so I'm sure we'll get official trailers between now and then, because that's still a long ways away. But it was nice to get a little taste, a couple of scenes and some clips.
And we have
everybody run home and watch this show because it's so good.
Posters to look at?
No, there's no posters.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, not yet. Not for that one.
Not yet. Too soon. Cool.
Too soon. All right.
So AMC Prime Video 2026 Vampire Lestat. That was a little look. We got to see it, so it was exciting. So thanks for joining us, Ramesh. It's great to see you. See you soon.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Yes.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.